All right, I've got a total of 4 buckets filled with pallet wood that I've turned into kindling. And that's all pallet wood that doesn't have any nails in it. It's nail free. And then we've got our firewood storage box. We've got it all emptied out except for 2 pieces of wood here. And they are about 3 inches too big to fit in the wood stove here. So I had a viewer send me 4 really large casters, 2 fixed and 2 swivel casters. These are an 8-inch diameter wheel. These are really big. And I assume it's for the firewood box because I complained about it on how hard it was to roll it around when it was full of firewood, and that I needed to put bigger casters on it. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna clean this out, we're gonna get these installed, and we'll see how well it works. Take these to the house. All right, I got the casters here on the firewood box. I put the swivel casters here in the front and the fixed casters in the back. And do a quick comparison. Here's my old casters compared to the new ones. I mean, this is a huge, huge difference. And this right here, this is probably the way I should have done it to begin with. So the firewood box used to be about the same height as the wood stove. You can see it's quite a bit taller, but it does move way easier than it did before. So now that that's done, we'll go ahead and roll it outside and we'll take it over and fill it up full of firewood. Oh, this moves easy. Definitely way easier to move, that's for sure. That one doesn't really want to fit, but it did. So I just want to say thank you to the viewer that sent me those casters. It's definitely an improvement. So the weather forecast is not looking very good in about 3 days from today.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to start
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Yeah. Yep. And what's the snow? We're supposed to get a bunch of snow.
We're supposed to get like maybe up to 1 inch of ice and 1 foot of snow.
Yeah, so that's quite a bit for us in this area. Normally when we get snow, it's like maybe a couple inches.
Yeah.
So we're going to start prepping for that now and try to get some things ready so that we don't have anything to worry about. So this right here, this is our old Generac generator. It's probably 15 years old, somewhere in there. And it hasn't ran for, or I haven't ran it for sure, for probably at least, I don't know, a couple years probably at least. So I want to try to get this going so that we have a spare generator so that I can use the tractor for pushing snow instead of using the generator on the tractor. I'd rather probably have this one so I can do tractor work. So we're gonna take this back to the workshop and we're gonna go through it and see if we can get it working. And I gotta pull it up the hill.
And you get some cardio in.
Oh, go. Yeah, this is part of this whole weight loss program that we're trying to lose our Christmas calories. All right, so now that we got the air filter housing off, we got to the carburetor. We're gonna clean this. We're gonna drain the gasoline out of the tank and we're gonna do an oil change. There we go. All right, carburetor's off. Open up the fuel valve. Hopefully we can drain the tank. And nothing. There's gas in there. It's gotta be that filter. All right, there's the fuel filter. Now we'll see if we can drain the gas. Nothing, still coming out. That's not a good sign. I guess we're gonna take off the whole shutoff valve and then we'll see if we can get some gasoline coming out of here. Oh, it's wanting to. Oh, yeah, it was plugged up. There's a filter inside of that. Oh man, a ton of junk. You see this filter screen? It looks like little flakes from the gas tank. So it's the coating of the gas tank or either the gas tank's rusting and it plugged up this little filter. It looks like there's just a layer of sediment in the bottom of this tank. Well, this job's probably a little bigger than what I thought it was going to be. We may just go ahead and we'll take this whole gas tank off of here and do what we can to flush it out, I guess with water. I don't know. I mean, I just don't have a good way to flush it. So can you guys see the bottom of this tank? See if we can look down in there. It's just full of like rust and sediment in the bottom. It's terrible. The last time I worked on this, the shutoff valve broke and I pulled it off and I replaced it. I don't know, that's probably been at least 4 years ago. And there wasn't any of this sediment problem then when I replaced that shutoff valve, but man, it is definitely terrible now. Pretty dirty water. I can hear it. Like sounds like
Oh yeah, I hear it.
like sand or rocks or something on the inside. I just don't know if we're gonna have a hole. Oh, I guess we could get a vacuum, wet dry vac.
Yeah.
Try to get it all down to one end and vacuum it out. Now you can see what's in that tank. See all those flakes? It's pretty nasty. And them are small. There's a lot of bigger ones earlier. Oh, you can see it down in there. See all that sediment? See what we got in there now. Turn it off. There we go. We flushed it probably, what do you think, 8 times probably? Finally clean. Hopefully you guys can see. Way cleaner. So I've decided not to clean this carburetor because on the inside it looks pristine. And I think last time I had this all apart, I cleaned the carburetor and I don't think it's hardly ran since then. So I really think that the gasoline has been shut off for the last several years and this just hasn't ended up getting dirty. So we're gonna try it the way it is. So I'm looking at this tank and this is supposed to be like a fuel indicator. And to me, it's like loose. Well, I'm pulling up on it, but I think water's getting in through this. I think the seal's not good around this. And I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna try to take this apart. Oh, look at that. It's like a little float valve. supposed to tell you where your fuel level is. And all it has to seal it is this rubber gasket here. I kind of get a feeling that water has got in here and seeped into the tank. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this back together, but I may have to look at ordering a new one. So to dry out this gas tank, what we're going to try is we've got a shop vac, and we're going to hook to the exhaust side so that we blow air into the tank, and then hopefully this will dry it out maybe in a few hours. I don't know, maybe a day, who knows. But I'm going to take this hose. We duct taped a smaller hose to it so that we can get it inside of the tank. All right, now we'll turn on the vacuum. Feel the air coming out. We'll give it some time. Hi, little man.
I saw he was hanging out in here with Maya. Here's another one.
Oh, Maya.
Stop. So, Tyrone. Oh, everybody's checking it. Maya, don't get crazy. She gets a little spunky.
A little?
Yeah.
Well, you guys are all in here now.
Well, yeah, everybody's like interested.
Everybody's
Tyrone
interested.
called them and said, come look at this.
We got some new fresh bedding down in the barn so that these guys have somewhere dry to lay.
All you cats are coming to see what's going on.
All right. Yep. Now the sheep got bedding.
Yep.
Man, it's a beautiful day today, isn't it?
You'd never guess a big snow ice storm's coming.
Just got back from the gas station. Got all the fuel cans filled up. Better to have it, just in case. Ounces in. So that means we'll have 20 gallons of gasoline on hand and 10 gallons of diesel. 1 ounce for 5 gallons. I kind of wing it. All right, I just changed the spark plug in the generator and the gas tank has dried out. So we're gonna go ahead and put that all back together, see if we can get this to run. Probably just put about a gallon of gasoline in here just to try it out. Turn the fuel on. Turn the choke on switch. All right, everybody, let's cross our fingers a few times. Maybe that'll help. Oh, it's not the results that I wanted, that's for sure. Oh, yeah. Well, apparently I got a hole in the gas tank because it's leaking out of the bottom. Well, at least we got the generator to run. It took a while, but it finally started up. But the gas tank has a leak in it. It's dripping a drop of gasoline probably once every 10 seconds. And I can tell exactly where the leak is. There was a little rusted spot on the bottom of that tank when we cleaned it. And that's exactly where it's leaking. So I think I'm gonna have to take the tank back off. We'll have to empty it out. I'm gonna see if I can get some type of repair kit and see if we can get it patched and stop the leak. This thing is slowing me down. I still gotta get the tractors ready to be able to push snow. Oh, that's definitely a bad spot. So right here on the bottom of the tank, it actually looks like a crack that kind of goes across in a line. That's where it's leaking out of. All right, looks like I'm heading back to town. And while I'm there, I'm gonna see if I can get a new fuel filter for it as well. Now that I've cleaned it up, got the powder coating off, you can see like the crack that's in here. So I ended up buying this. It's JB Weld tank weld. It's supposed to be for fuel tanks. It's some kind of two-part putty that we got to mix together and then put over this. So there you can see it's a two-part putty, and I think we got like 5 minutes to be able to mix this up and put it onto the tank. This is how it tells you to do it. It tells you to like put gloves on and mix it up. We got it mixed up so it's an even color. So I did wipe this down with a little bit of lacquer thinner just to make sure it was good and clean. All right, there we go. Supposed to wait an hour now. So these fuel tank repair kit things, they don't have very good ratings. So I don't have like the best faith in this, but if we can at least get it to hold for a few days, that'll be good. If it can hold longer than that, then that's great. So while that's curing, I'm gonna go ahead and swap out the implements on the T654. That way it is ready to push snow. Aha. There we go. Oh, I need it to pivot just a little bit, just a hair. Whew, got one arm in. It doesn't fit. So I've never hooked this grader blade up before. I bought it used off of a viewer that doesn't live too far away, and it's a class 1, but I've got a class 2 hitch. Normally you can use just a bushing and you can get this to hook up, but right here is not big enough for my top link. It doesn't fit in between there. I think no matter what, everything's just gonna go wrong today. Or at least these last few days. Nothing's gone right. Not the right way to do this. But maybe it'll at least get me back to the workshop. think all I gotta do is swap out this top link. I'll probably put the hydraulic top link on here and it'll be fine. Huh. It's like almost the perfect length right now. Oh man, that one. What the heck, even that one doesn't want to fit in there. I do have this top link. It's kind of a long one. I guess we could try it. Oh, yep. That one I think will fit. Now that I look at it some more, you can tell this whole side over here has been welded on. It probably broke right there because there's weld down this side and that side. I think this whole piece has been welded back together. That's probably why it's too narrow in here. Come on. Holy cow, what the heck? Pinhole don't really line up. There we go. Aha. Oh, I don't even know if I'm gonna get it to spin backwards. Oh yeah, won't take any grease. I think it's that one. 1/4-28 taper. All right, now we'll see if it'll take grease with a new one. And the answer is, no, it won't. Ugh. I'm gonna have to get out the big torch. Take our fitting back out. Well, that definitely freed her up a lot more. Oh, got her to spin that way. All right, now she's pointing backwards. Kind of the way I wanted it. I wanted to be able to push backwards with it, or at least spin it anywhere I want, I guess. All right, we got the grater blade to move like it should. I'll wait for this to cool down and put the grease zerk back in and I will get it greased up. But I think the way we got it right now, I can at least push some snow with it, so that's a good thing. So I've got the bucket on the front of the T654, grater blade on the back, and I'm hoping between both of these things that I can at least clear the driveway, push some snow. Not ideal. We don't get a lot of snow here, so I didn't even have to plow any snow, I don't think, last year. So this will get us by, I think. So our little patch here on the gas station. So our little patch here on the gas tank has been setting for 2 hours now. It said 1 hour to set up, so it's been twice as long. Feels awful hard. So there is still gasoline in this tank, just a little bit. I tried to be very careful while I was cleaning this, not to cause any sparks or anything. And I guess we'll just set it back on top of the generator and we'll wait a few minutes and see if we see any seeping out. If it doesn't look like it's gonna leak, we'll get her hooked up. Unfortunately, nobody in town had a new fuel filter the size I needed. Apparently my fuel filter is very small, not a common size. I should have painted that. I meant to paint that black on the bottom of that tank. I screwed up on that, didn't I? Didn't look like it was leaking, so. All right, we'll turn the gas on. We'll give it a shot. Come on. All right, the generator's running. It didn't appear to be leaking before I painted it, but I'm sure by tomorrow we'll know for sure. But at least I got a generator in case I need it, because I know everybody's gonna say you got solar, you got battery backup. Well, if I get 12 inches of snow, all my solar panels are gonna be covered in snow up on my roof, and I won't be able to recharge the batteries except with a generator. So it'd be nice to have it if I need it. Go ahead and just bring that in the shop here. It'll be a little bit warmer for that paint to dry. So I still have one more day before the storm hits. So that's gonna allow me tomorrow to make sure that I've got all the animals' hay all stocked up, make sure that they're okay. I'm gonna take our vehicles, now that the garage is cleaned out, the car and the truck are gonna go inside of the garage so that I can plow the driveway and so that they're ready to go in case we need to drive somewhere. Also, I've got a few of these power stations here. I'm gonna make sure that these are all charged up, because last year when there was a bad storm, we ended up loaning those out to several people, and that may end up happening again. Other than that, I think the only thing I might do is maybe stock up the firewood rack here, make sure it's topped off, plenty of kindling. And then I may try to do a couple modifications and still work on that rear blade that we just put on the tractor. It just depends on how much time I got, but I got the big things done, so that's good. So we tried to prepare plenty of days in advance, and it's definitely, I think, well worth it, because we had way too many trouble or problems trying to get that generator to run. It was in way worse shape than I thought it was. So the weather forecast is constantly changing. They're still calling for snow. Yesterday they're calling for like 14 inches of snow. I think now they're only calling for 10, but they're saying that that may be followed by ice afterwards. So that could be even worse, because I think when you get ice sticking to the trees and the power lines and stuff like that, you have a lot more chance of power outages than just the snow. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But I think we're about as ready as we can be. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Hopefully everything goes smooth. So I think that's going to be it for this video, guys. So I hope you have a great day. I'll see you next time.